this is a very interesting one. I was very interested in reading about this. Viewing body positivity images on Instagram is linked to heightened body surveillance and body dissatisfaction in women. This is something that we see a lot in the trans community, especially when it comes to passing. And I have something to talk about regarding to passing a little bit later on in the program as well. Oh, Photoshop opened just now, so that's great. Yeah, so when it comes to stuff like passing and stuff like that, we see a lot of that in the trans community, and that's why I wanted to talk about this primarily. Let me see if I can fix that graphic really quick. It's something that, honestly, it, oh goodness, where is it? Oh, it's here. Okay. Yeah, honestly, it's something that I see a lot in the trans community. Is talking about passing and talking about, well, you know, does this look womanly enough? Does this look manly enough? Blah, 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 all this stuff. It's a big problem. Something out of reach for some of us. Yeah, I understand that. And that's a valid concern. But I think, and I'll talk about this a little bit later on too. I think sometimes maybe we tend to focus too much on the idea of passing and stuff like that. But let's talk about this primarily first. Viewing body positivity images on Instagram linked to heightened body surveillance and body dissatisfaction in women. The body positivity movement has been influential in society for pushing back against beauty standards, but is that influence also positive? A study published in Computers in Human Behavior explores how sexualized representations of body positivity may serve to increase body surveillance and acceptance of plastic surgery. Beauty ideals have been influential in popular media for a long time, but have been expanded by the rise of social networking sites. An incredibly high number of adolescents and young adults utilize social media daily, using it to share and view pictures and videos, many of which serve to enforce beauty standards and exacerbate insecurity and body dissatisfaction in consumers. Yeah. Who would have thought? Who would have fucking thought? The body positivity movement aimed to push back against these popular beauty ideals by emphasizing acceptance and appreciation of everybody at every size. Despite the respectable cause, there have been some accusations of a dark side of the movement, which can be exclusionary and/or sexualized. This study sought to explore the effects of sexualized images being used for body-positive social networking. For their study, Giovanni Schettino? Is that right? Does that look right? And colleagues utilized 493 Italian women between the ages of 18 and 30 to serve in their sample. Participants were recruited through social media and were predominantly heterosexual and unmarried. Participants completed measures detailing their demographic information, body surveillance tendencies, body satisfaction, acceptance of cosmetic surgery, Instagram usage, and frequency of viewing sexually objectified body-positive selfies on Instagram. Results showed that viewing sexualized body positivity images was associated with higher levels of body surveillance, a preoccupation with monitoring one's own physical appearance. Additionally, viewing this sexualized content was associated with lower body satisfaction, which is the opposite of the intent of the body positivity movement. It really makes you think, doesn't it? It's interesting how something can have the opposite effect of what is intended. Sorry, just gonna get some coffee. It was really nice at the coffee place today. It gave me a free coffee. So I ended up with 2. Wild, huh? The relationship between viewing this sexualized body-positive content and increased monitoring and body surveillance in turn increased the acceptance of cosmetic surgery among participants. These results suggest that despite the positive intentions of the body positivity movement, sexualized versions of these images can actually have a negative effect on self-image and encourage changing appearance through plastic surgery. In line with the literature, such a result confirms that sociocultural norms about appearance greatly influence women's feelings toward their bodies. Indeed, even the pressures deriving from exposure to appearance-focused body-positive images, which is expected to reduce the value attributed by women to their bodies, led to greater acceptance of cosmetic surgery, the researchers wrote. However, the latter was not the expression of an internal need, but reflected the motivation to obtain social rewards deriving from appearing more attractive to others, consistent with the great value placed by women in high self-objectification on the way they look at the observer's gaze. This negative impact would be amplified precisely by the greater body surveillance induced by exposure to these pressures, which can also manifest themselves through sexualized body-positive images. This result seems quite relevant, given the paradox that images aim to promote acceptance of own body can end up triggering the desire to change it. Yeah, it's interesting how it had the opposite effect, isn't it? I think it is. Because for me, I don't have any issue with this because I'm happy with the way I look. I don't need to worry about, how other people look on Instagram or whatever. Am I contributing to this phenomena by posting risque pics on my main? I don't know. Maybe you are. Are you on Instagram? Are you on Instagram, Sasha? Better not be. You better not be on Instagram, Missy. This study took important steps into understanding the nuances regarding images of body positivity and their effects. Despite this, there are a few limitations. One such limitation is that the study relied solely on self-report measures, which are vulnerable to bias. Additionally, the cross-sectional nature of this study does not allow us to draw conclusions about causation. The findings underpin that when body-positive content conveys a sexualized female representation, it may lead to detrimental consequences not limited to treating own body as an object, but extended to a very worrying threat to women's well-being: the intention to undergo cosmetic surgery procedures to gain social rewards, the researchers concluded. Twitter doesn't count. Only Instagram. That's right. Yeah. This survey wasn't done on Twitter. It was just about Instagram. So. But that is interesting. The study, The Dark Side of #BodyPositivity, the relationships between sexualized body-positive selfies on Instagram and acceptance of cosmetic surgery, was authored by Giovanni Schettino, Miriam Capasso, and Daniela Casso. I hope I pronounced all those names right. If I did not, I deeply apologize, but what can you do, right? Yeah, I want to say that, personally for me, I've never had any issues with body positivity or anything like that because I've been relatively happy about the way I look. My shortcomings, doing makeup and stuff like that, that's stuff I can work on. That's stuff I can be better at. But overall, with the way my body looks and, my figure and stuff like that, I'm happy with that. So I don't need to worry about cosmetic surgery or anything like that. For those who do, I want to give you a little piece of advice. Go outside. Interact with real people, okay? That's one of the biggest things that can help fight against this. is just interacting with real people and seeing how real people react to you. I know it's very easy to get caught up in some online community. It's easy to put all of your friends into an online community. But there's always, in online communities, there's always a disconnect that happens with a lot of people. There's always this level of dehumanization that happens in online communities. And often people subconsciously don't think of others as human. They think of others as some sort of vague object, or they don't seem to have that level of permanence when it comes to interacting with people online. So do be careful when you're in your online communities. Don't let a lot of the groupthink get to you. Don't change your beliefs to feel accepted with a certain group. Always find people in real life that you can depend on. Always find people that you meet in real life first before jumping into an online community and looking for acceptance there. Do I see you as a vague object? Only when you want me to. Only when you want me to. But no, I see everybody as a human being. And that's why it's a little bit easier for me to have some of this stuff just like roll off my back. Is because I understand that others don't see me as a human being. I understand that others don't see me as a person. They see me as this vague concept of a person. Even, recording content, even putting out content. People still don't understand that I'm a human being. All human beings are flawed. All human beings have problems. Everybody has their own things going on. And when you get to the point that you're foaming at the mouth and just ripping into people online, you really need to take a step back and start to think of other people as human beings. Okay? So, just a little piece of advice there for anyone who's in an online community. Make sure you have real life friends. Make sure you have people around you that can support you when these people inevitably leave. Okay?